Why do you support this kind of caste system?
Arull, are you serious? Why can't you ask me this question? Is this how you treat your guests on the show?
This is an important question to ask, so you must answer this question too. Welcome back to Arull Time. Today on Arull Time, we're going to talk about the hashtag cultureme movement, where we try to reduce racism by educating people about different cultures and exposing them to different cultures. And today we have Sharon Nayak. Namaste.
Namaste. Thanks for having me, Arull. How are you?
I'm good. You seem to be the Hindu expert to what I know. Can I take that as a yes?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you for coming here. Let's start by asking you some questions. First question I'd like to ask is by the viewers. These are some misconceptions that viewers have, and they want to ask these questions to a Hindu expert. These are not questions that I have, so it's just for educational purposes. Starting with the first question. How many gods does Hinduism have?
Yeah, I think this is the most popular question that we have. So it generally, people see that we have like all these different gods, like uncountable, infinite, right? But so Hinduism's both a monotheistic religion and a polytheistic religion, meaning that we believe in one god as well as many gods. So we do believe in one god called Brahman or Paramatma, which is like the universe, right? So it's like you can't comprehend it. So we have to break it down into many forms or different gods. So each god represents a different concept in the Hindu faith.
So what you're trying to say is that Hinduism has one god, but in different forms.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
So even like it doesn't even have to be in the Hindu pantheon to be part of the Brahman. It could be like Jesus. It could be Allah. You know, it could be any of the Zoroastrian gods, like such as Ahura Mazda. Right.
True. Interesting. Learning a lot by Hinduism. And question number 2. Why do you pray to the destroyer? Doesn't it make sense to pray to the creator of the world? Isn't that weird for Hindus to pray to a destroyer?
Yeah, I think our culture is unique in that way, since we are one of the few religions that don't worship the creator, right? And like we have to ask ourselves for certain questions as to why do we worship the creator? Well, why is the creator important, right? Like if we're looking at through a Christian perspective, right? Most of the time, when we judge other religions, so it's just like in the Jewish faith or Christian faith or Islamic faith, the creator is important because he created the universe, right? But in the Hindu faith, the creator is considered, who's Brahma, is considered insecure, and he creates good things, but he also creates bad things, right? So like creation is not always a good thing because he can also have bad things. And Brahma is also considered very insecure. He creates and he possesses onto his creations, whereas Shiva, the destroyer, he has the ability to let go. He's indifferent to the world, right? Which is supposed to be a good thing in the Hindu faith.
Interesting. So what you're trying to say here also alludes to racism too, where the biggest factor that creates racism is people look at things in their point of view, or if they're Christian, they look at other cultures or religion in their point of view, which creates this bias or prejudice or racism, right? Moving on to the third question, the important question, the tense question that I want to ask too about Hinduism. Hinduism has a lot of discrimination in their beliefs. They're known to disrespect people. They have a caste system that disrespects lower castes, such as the untouchables. Why do you support this kind of caste system?
Arull, are you serious? Why can't you ask me this question? Is this how you treat your guests on the show?
This is an important question to ask, so you must answer this question too.
Okay, I'm kidding. Okay, that's a good question actually. And no, I do not support the caste system. It's definitely the darkest parts of the culture or the faith. But it made sense, I guess, to a certain degree. It's an outcome of like feudalism and tribalism. So caste system is based on tribes, right? So different tribes did different work in society, and in a feudal economy, there's a strong hierarchy. So the landowners are at the top, and the priests are above them, and then the laborers and servants at the bottom of that food chain, right? So that's how most of the caste system across India worked. And I mean, it's definitely a bad thing. The discrimination was pretty bad, and it still exists today. It's getting better slightly. I mean, it is getting better, but it still exists for sure. And I mean, but every culture had a class or caste division, right? So it's not just unique to Hinduism, but like it was more codified, I guess, in the Indian culture.
So people are slowly changing, and people are trying to realize this is not a negative thing. So the stereotype against Hinduism is not right to make, or not right to make. Because
I mean, no, it existed for sure, so we can't deny that. But that's usually the only. I mean, that was one of the darkest aspects. So I mean, every religion is open to critique.
Sounds good. That's interesting. That's a question that many viewers were asking, so I have to answer that question.
Yeah.
And another question I'd like to ask is, this is also an intense question.
Okay.
At least in a stereotype point of view,
Yeah.
India, where majority of the Hindus live or reside, are known to be sexist.
Yeah.
Does Hinduism support sexism?
No, we do not.
Can you tell me some mythological stories or Hinduism beliefs or values that do not support sexism or shows to respect women?
So I mean, in all the 5 major religions, we'll see some sort of sexism. But if you look at Hinduism, right, like if you want to look at every single faith, there is some feminist aspects as well as sexist aspects. So like in the Hindu faith, yeah, there is some sexist attitudes. There's also very feministic attitudes also, such as like we're the only religion that has a goddess, right? Like in most of the religions, I don't think they have a goddess, right? It's like given more equal importance as the male gods. And there's in even all these stories, there's like stories about how women trying to have equal opportunity.
So Hinduism always promotes respect for women. And
well, yeah, I mean, generally all religions do. It's not unique to Hinduism, but
so what the stereotype is false. The culture does not promote sexism. It's the people.
I mean, also it is a patriarchal culture too. So like it's both. There's also parts where there's feministic, but there's also parts where it is sexist. So we can't just generalize saying that one culture is just good and one culture is bad, right?
But we can all agree
there's good and bad in every.
But we can all agree that every culture is improving from all traditional views.
Yeah, but like in 100 years from now, what we think is good will be considered backward, right? Like just because we're not vegan or something, like people are like great grandchildren like condemn us for not being vegan or something like that. So it like morals keep changing.
That takes me to the next question.
Mm-hmm.
But Hindus are well known for being or having beliefs of being vegetarian.
Yeah.
Because they don't like hurting living things.
Yeah.
But plants are living too.
Mm-hmm.
So why do you support the killing of plants but not animals? Can you elaborate on that?
So I think the Indian tradition of ahimsa or non-violence started with the Buddhist and Jain faith. So they believed, like Jains are very like particular about what they eat, right? So they can't eat certain, even vegetarian foods, because it kills the plant, right? So that's definitely influenced a lot on part of the mainstream Hinduism also. So vegetarian is seen as a very pure way of life, because you're not harming anything, right? But yeah, you're right. It's more of a subjective moral thing, right? So like not all Hindus, actually majority of Hindus eat meat.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's very like a kind of minority that actually are vegetarian.
Oh, okay. And another question, at least in memes, is that moves me to the next question, is that beef is more, or cow is more respected than humans. Why is that the case?
I mean, it's no, they're not more respected than humans. Humans are definitely more respected. It's just that cows are seen as a sacred animal, just because they were given more importance in ancient times, just because they provided everything a family would need, right? So they provided milk. Their dung was fuel for fire, and they just were good, economic assets. Just because they generated income for you. You could sell your milk. You could sell your milk products. You could use the dung as fire. So just killing them would kill your source of income most of the time.
Oh, so just like saying work is your second wife, and they respect their job and what feeds them.
Yeah.
So that's what all this is about. Many people have misconception.
I mean, but I think in India they definitely take it to an extreme level, especially now with the current political climate. So, yeah.
But in general, Hinduism is humans are more valued than cows.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. That's a thing to laugh about, because there's so much memes out there that talks about like, oh, who should we save? If you want to be a politician, you gotta support the cow. That's how you get the most votes. I'm pretty sure you watch LKG. It'll be on the screen here if you guys didn't watch LKG. But LKG trolls this type of movement of valuing cows over humans, especially in political votes and all that.
Right. Okay.
Question 5. The final question. What do you believe about karma? Or what's karma?
So karma, or karma in English, it just means action and reaction, right? So every action you create or generate, you face a consequence. So you never actually know what's a good karma or what's bad karma, because like for example, being honest, it could harm you or help you, right? So like in some aspects, it's probably a good idea to lie, because you might get like harmed. Like not every single good deed that we consider like a virtue is always a good thing. So karma is, you have to be smart with it. So and it's based on a rebirth, right? So whatever actions you did in the past, you face in your past life, you face it in this life. Also, whatever actions you did in this life, you face in this life or the next life.
Interesting.
So like you're responsible for every action. Whatever happens to you is you're responsible for it.
So it's like the Newton.
You take responsibility for all whatever happens to you. You can't blame anyone else.
So it's basically the Newton's theory is like every action
every action has an equal opposite reaction.
Yeah. So are you saying Newton stole this theory?
What? Newton stole this theory? I think so. He did. I think he was a Hindu person.
Wow.
In disguise.
Another conspiracy created by Sharon Naik. Sharon Naik. This is the headlines. Sharon Naik attacks Newton for his theft or plagiarism on Hinduism beliefs.
Yeah,
calls it his. Finally, I lied. There's one more question. What happens after death? What do Hinduism believe?
So, we do believe in rebirth. So, you just keep, depending on what you do in this life, the good deeds or bad deeds, you face in the next life, right? So you could, if you're really bad, I guess you could be born less than a human, so like any sort of animal. And being human is considered the most, you're very lucky to be a human. So you did a lot of good things in your past life to stay as a human or be a human.
So if you're like an animal, you probably sinned?
Yes, probably. But yeah, that's up to belief.
Up to belief, yeah. Okay. So what you're trying to say is is Earth hell or heaven?
It can be both, right? So it is what it is. The Earth is what it is. You can make it what you want it to be. You can make it a heaven, you can make it a hell.
Oh, true. Again, we should not look at other religion or cultures through other point of views, or your own point of view, I should say.
I mean, we do have a heaven and hell, but it's temporary.
Oh.
So like you have to be reborn, right? So it's like a temporary pit stop
Okay.
in hell or heaven, and then you eventually come back to earth.
So like
It's not eternal.
So I'm always in the cycle. Never.
Yeah,
I
you
can
can never escape the cycle.
Oh no, I'm stuck. Okay, before we end this show, with the time's almost up, so
Yeah.
I want you to share with the viewers on what's Hindus' views on racism and how to reduce it. Can you share some stories before we end the video or interview?
Yeah, so I'll just leave this with the viewers that we have to respect other points of view, other cultures. Even if you don't agree with it, we do have to respect every viewpoint has some value to this world.
Thank you, Sharon Naik. It was a pleasure having you, and I'm sure I learned a lot, and I'm sure the viewers learned a lot about Hinduism. And I hope this cultureme movement is reducing racism by educating others about other cultures. This #cultureme movement will continue to rise with different cultures, and I'll continue to interview different cultures and learn more about them. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Please don't forget to
Subscribe and like.
Namaste.
Namaste.